After watching our online service yesterday morning, a member of my family phoned me to tell me that I need to keep my arms still when I'm talking. I pointed out in response that it's actually an outward expression of the inward animation and excitement that I'm feeling and trying to convey when I'm talking, and that Gary Lineker does exactly the same thing to great effect on Match of the Day. But I'm still not sure that they were completely convinced. Yesterday we also started our 24/7 week of prayer at Southport Salvation Army, and as I speak we only have 3 slots left out of 168. Now how encouraging is that? I find myself struggling all over again not to get too excited or animated at the thought of 168 hours of continuous prayer during Holy Week. As I prayed for my allocated hour yesterday, my thoughts turned to the book of Psalms, and I read these words written by Ian Stackhouse. You don't realise how polite your prayers are until you pray the Psalms. In the Psalms there is not a pious platitude in sight. The heart of prayer is not resignation, but wrestling. Prayer isn't always passive. It can also be excited, animated, consuming all of our emotions. We read in Luke's Gospel in chapter 9 verse 51 that Jesus resolutely set out for Jerusalem. He set his eyes upon Jerusalem. He was a man on a mission. He knew that he was going to be on a collision course with the authorities, and he knew exactly how it was going to end. After the theatre and the crowds of Palm Sunday, Monday of Holy Week finds Jesus in the temple courts. And he's animated, he's angry, he's driving out those people who've made his house of prayer into a den of thieves. Listen to this poem written by Chick Yuill. It's called The Ballad of Holy Week. On Monday, he entered the temple, casting the traders out. He overturned all the tables and raised up a mighty shout. How dare you cheat my people and cause good men to doubt? On Monday, he entered the temple, casting the traders out. On Tuesday, he spoke with the wise men, words both strong and true. They tried to trip him and trap him, but the master knew. He told them of a king's son who came to collect his due. On Tuesday, he spoke with the wise men, words both strong and true. On Wednesday, in Bethany's village, Mary's love was told. A precious perfume was given that might have been kept or sold. And Judas sold his master for just a bag of gold. On Wednesday, in Bethany's village, Mary's love was told. On Thursday, he shared in the supper. It was to be his last. Then out he went to the garden and prayed that the cup would pass. And Judas with the soldiers betrayed him by a kiss. On Thursday, he shared in the supper. It was to be his last. On Friday, they took him to Pilate, asking him to decide. A traitor and a blasphemer, he must be crucified. Then to the cross they nailed him and watched him as he died. On Friday, they took him to Pilate, asking him to decide. On Saturday, he was lying bound up in Joseph's tomb, a massive stone at the entrance, securing his final doom. His friends, who loved him dearly, were filled with fear and gloom. On Saturday, he was lying, bound up in Joseph's tomb. On Sunday, he rose in triumph, leaving an empty grave. He stood before his disciples and told them they must believe. Now go into the whole world, tell all men I'm alive. On Sunday, he rose up in triumph, leaving an empty grave. As we journey together through Holy Week, let's not be passive spectators. Let's be active participants as we read and pray and journey through this week together. Let's set out resolutely for Jerusalem. Let's feel the pain. Let's experience the anger. Let's wave our arms in utter frustration. Let's bow our heads in utter desolation. And let's lift our hands in total praise. Jesus, the Son of God, loved me and gave himself for me. Galatians 2, verse 20. Because at the cross, Jesus' story becomes our story. Jesus' death brings us life. And that's something to get excited and animated about. May God bless you this week.